Y'all, man, 2 cents be on point. She be on point, bro.
Appreciate it.
Blonde,
Appreciate it.
She talking facts. Like, you the first one to say it.
What's up? What's up? What's up? Hi, welcome to the channel. I'm Jay, and this is our 2 cents, where we talk everything boxing, and everybody's entitled to their own opinion. In today's live, we will be discussing the Beterbiev, however you want to pronounce it, versus Bivol showdown, Teofimo Lopez leaving Top Rank, and the PBC undercard drama unfolds. But before we do that, make sure you punch that like and subscribe button, and make sure you let me know and drop it below your 2 cents as we go throughout the live. How is everybody doing this Friday night? Let me see who we all got in the building. Man, listen, I was dropping my daughter off somewhere. I almost didn't get on here tonight because I've been just a little annoyed all day, but working on my consistency. Friday and Sundays are the days that I like to go live, and I just want to hop on here on Friday nights because I like to chop it up with y'all. This is unlike my formal show that I have on Sundays, and we just come on here and talk about random stuff. I know I got some topics at the top, but if we get to them, if something else come up, it come up. But I had some issues with my car, got a flat tire, and luckily it was a tire shop nearby. Went to the tire shop nearby. They didn't have a tire for my car. something going on with my spare. I was like, yeah, I got a spare. Pull out the spare. The spare messed up. They don't have the tire. They would have to order it. All this. My rim was bent. Got to get my rim fixed. They didn't fix rims there, so I had to get towed to another tire shop. I got everything taken care of finally, but I had to wait an hour and a half for the tow truck. So just been one of them days. My husband was at work, so he couldn't come and help me with the situation, even though I didn't really need him to come help me with the situation, but it is what it is. Let's see who we got in the building. We got all things in the building. What's going on? All things. We got Cornelius. What's going on? Ambrose West. What's up? Cash Crypto. What's going on, Cash? What's going on with y'all tonight? Another drama-filled week in boxing. Listen, if it's one thing boxing is never short of, it is the drama. It's always some drama going on. There's always some accusations going around. Always. So put a 1 in the chat if you are excited about this fight tomorrow. Listen, this is one of the first fights I've seen in a while where it's just nobody knows who's going to win this fight. I mean, I have not definitively heard anybody say this person can win, this person can. It's always if Beterbiev do this, he can win. If Bivol does this, he could win. And I'm gonna let y'all know who I think. But what y'all got? Who y'all think gonna win this fight and why? I'm gonna be dropping the link early today. Honestly, and I know I say this a lot, I don't plan on being here long tonight, probably for about an hour. But once the conversation get going, and it seems like right at that hour time, that's when everybody want to hop on. That's when everybody wants to hop on. But let me see. I'm pulling up the odds right now, so y'all let me know what y'all think, because I want to see, man. I'm so I might not even get to watch the fight because my son has a boxing tournament this weekend, but I'm gonna try to see if I can get to the fight. Why did it just do that? Hold on, y'all. Let me log in real quick. So let's see what y'all saying in the chat. Cash Crypto say he got Beterbiev by knockout TKO 7th through the 10th round. Now, this is what I think. At the beginning of this, I was just like, Beterbiev got 100% knockout ratio. And it's not just like he can't fight or he has no boxing skills. He's just a power puncher. Beterbiev got some boxing skills. All things say, I kind of want Bivol to bring the upset, but I got Beterbiev, a.k.a. Wolverine, late stoppage. Says, odd makers got this one wrong. They giving Bivol too much credit for the Canelo win. Alan So stand in the building. Hold on, where you go, Alan? Alan So stand in the building. What's going on? Alan, who you got? But Beterbiev or Bivol? Who you got? Bivol by decision, and I'm standing on it. And so I was just like, the dude, how you gonna go against the guy with the 100 with the 100% knockout ratio? But Bivol is a good boxer, and I know he got a lot of notoriety and credit for beating Canelo. But before the Canelo fight, I did go watch some Bivol fights. I'm like, man, this guy can fight. Like, it's not like Bivol not no punk. So I've been following Bivol after the Canelo fight and watching his fights. He's a great boxer, don't get me wrong. He doesn't have much pop like that. And the issue is always like, he's not stopping nobody. But the only thing, and what I will believe will make the biggest difference is this in this fight is Beterbiev's knee injury. We have to see, will that affect his movement in this fight? Because if it does, I believe that will give Bivol an advantage. What y'all think? But I honestly cannot just definitively pick a clear winner. Let me share my screen with y'all. Hold on, let me pull up the fight. But if I have to pick as a gambler, right? If I'm taking this as a gambler, let me see what the odds are first. Let's look at that. Let's look at. Somebody say the odd makers got it wrong. But you gotta understand when they making these odds, they know stuff we don't know. Cause sometimes I look at the odds of the fight and I'm like, what do y'all know that I don't know? Let me see. Where is boxing? Here we go. All right, so the money line is pretty close. Plus 120 for Beterbiev, minus 140 for Bivol. Let me share my screen real quick. Let me see. Shell say Bivol will win. I can't say I've heard more Bivol, and I can't say I've heard more Beterbiev. It's pretty like even split going down. Yep. Biev has not fought a boxer with serious footwork. Bivol will outrun Biev. So you saying it's a bad style matchup? Think it's a bad style matchup for him? So let's check it out. All right, can y'all see that? It looks small to me. So let's see what we got. Y'all be betting on these crazy things right here? It be like Bivol to win by knockout TKO in round 7. Beterbiev to be knocked down in rounds 5 and in round 6. Plus 17,500. I wonder do anybody ever be winning on these fight specials? Let me know if y'all ever hit one of them crazy odds like that. Let's see. Joints be crazy. Plus 25,000. Both fighters to be knocked down in round 1. Bivol to win and both fighters to be knocked down 2+ time each in rounds 1 through 6. Ooh. Imagine winning 25,000. Could you put 100 on that bet? Okay, here we go. Beterbiev by decision or technical decision is plus 550. Now, what if the fight end up a draw, y'all? Is that a possibility? Would you bet on the draw? That's a good idea. Think about, nobody really knowing who gonna win this fight. You might have to throw a little something towards the draw. Bivol by KO, TKO, or DQ plus 650. Now, the gambler in me wants to bet on a Bivol stoppage. The gambler in me will want to bet on a Bivol stoppage. Let's see. Beterbiev by knockout is a plus 600. Bivol by knockout is a plus 1,800. Which I can't believe I got the Beterbiev knockout plus 600. Unanimous decision. Split decision plus 700 for Bivol. A split decision plus 2,200 for Beterbiev. Okay. I'm going to have to sit down and really look at this. These odds looking crazy. Let's see what the over-under looking like. Okay. So let me see what y'all saying. Bad style matchup for Bivol, for Beterbiev, yes. Beterbiev has fought all kinds of boxers. That's cap. Beterbiev has great boxing skills that is typically overlooked by the savage beatdowns he produces. Says that plus 600 is easy money. We got Big Dre in the building. What's going on, Big Dre? So that's crazy that they would make that a plus 600, ain't they, Cash Crypto? But I don't know, man. I can't call it. Okay, let's say if I had a gun on my head and I absolutely had to pick a winner, I would go with I would go with I would say Beterbiev, but the only thing is that knee injury, and I felt like I kind of seen him limping a little bit, so I think it may be affecting him a little bit. But if I would have to go with a winner, I would pick Beterbiev because if he's able, Bivol coming in and out, and if he gets in an exchange with Bivol, I believe he would be able to stop him. But you know how fighters get. Beterbiev is older, and it's not like you just gradually get older and older as a boxer. You just get in the ring one day and boom, you look old. So the fight can go either way. This fight could literally go either way. But I would go with Beterbiev. But I don't know, man. I think Bivol can get him. I do think Bivol's a better boxer than Beterbiev. I'm not saying that Beterbiev can't box at all or he's not a good boxer. I just think that Bivol's a better boxer. But I'm not sure if Bivol got enough pop on his punches to keep Beterbiev off of him. But will Bivol's lateral movement give Beterbiev trouble? How good is Beterbiev? How good do y'all think Beterbiev is at cutting off the ring? If you had to grade him on a scale of 1 to 10, how good do you think that he is at cutting off the ring? That would be another question. Is he good at cutting off the ring? It's a tough one, man. It's a tough one. So we just gonna have to see tomorrow. So a lot of people been waiting and anticipating for this fight. This is a hardcore fans fight for sure. Shout out to Turkey for putting on the fight, because if it wasn't for him willing to lose money on this fight, we would not be having it because nobody else was willing or wanted to put the fight on. So shout out to Turkey. But let me see. Ambrose West says, why do everybody think Bivol will get in an exchange with Beterbiev? He knows the man can crack. He will use the ring. But that's what I was saying, Ambrose West. Like, how good can he cut off the ring? Because he can catch him up, cut that ring off and get him in some exchanges. It's not like he's just gonna be able to avoid it all night. I mean, I'm just saying if Beterbiev can cut off the ring, he's not gonna be able to avoid it all night. But if he's able to keep him at the end of his jab, get in, get out, use his jab, use his lateral footwork. But this the thing. This the thing when you fighting somebody that's a puncher like that. They can afford to make more mistakes than you. Because it's not like Bivol got one punch knockout power or anything like that. You have to be damn near perfect the whole fight. You got to be on it the whole fight. But Beterbiev don't have to be perfect the whole fight. He can afford to make more mistakes than Bivol. So is Bivol that great of a boxer is the question. And can Beterbiev cut off the ring? Is Bivol's jab going to give Beterbiev trouble? These are questions that, because I seen Beterbiev fight. It's not like he just was super dominating over everybody he fought. No, they gave him trouble. They gave him issues. He got hit. He had to figure some things out. Ambrose says, I think it's a matter of time versus his knee. How fast can Beterbiev KO Bivol before his knee starts giving him problems? And that's what I'm saying. It's not like And that's the biggest difference. That's going to make the biggest difference in this fight is the knee injury, I feel like, because let's say Beterbiev's not able to get Bivol out of there earlier in the fight and they take it into deep waters. How's his knee going to be holding up? How's his movement going to be? It's a lot of fighters that struggle with fighters with the jab and the good lateral movement. So that alone is going to give him a lot of trouble. And now you're saying he got to try to get Bivol out of there early. I mean, how's that going to work out for him? Beterbiev is going to come out quick to end the fight quickly. Says Bev punches great. Yes, he does punch great. Says Bivol doesn't have great lateral movement. He moves forward and backwards moving. He probably going to have to get in his bag for this one. Yeah, he going to have to get in his bag. Says watch the look on Bivol's face when that hot brick lands flush. Yeah, we going to see. And what happens if Bivol can take Beterbiev's power? What if he's able to take a couple of them shots from Beterbiev, and now we in round 6, 7, 8, and he just getting jabbed and outboxed? What is he going to do? How is he going to overcome that? So it's a lot of things that these fighters are going to have to overcome in order to be able to win this fight. It should be a great matchup. Still, the power, all plans go out the window. Absolutely. You know what Mike Tyson say? Everybody got a plan till they get punched in the mouth. Till they get punched in the face. So we'll see. We shall see. Let me go ahead and drop this link. I'm not going to be on here long tonight. See who want to come up here and hop on. But y'all going to put some money on the fight? I'm still debating because I don't know, man. I am back and forth. Like, but think about it. Why would the odds for Beterbiev knockout be plus 600? Got the link pinned to the top of the chat. If you want to come in and drop your 2 cents on the Beterbiev and Bivol fight. I'm interested to hear what y'all got to say. Y'all assessment of the fight. Even Eddie Hearn done pissed off Bivol. Y'all seen Eddie Hearn piss off Bivol at the press conference? Nigga said, we'll see Saturday. Why Eddie Hearn be talking so much? Like, dude, you're not about to fight, Eddie. And what is up with Eddie Hearn? I've been meaning to make a video about this, but I didn't make it. And he was talking to somebody because Oscar De La Hoya had just clowned him. I meant to talk about this last Friday about all his fighters that have been losing. And he's like, well, I put my fighters in 50-50 fights. And sometimes I put them in 90-10 fights. And I just thought to myself, like, y'all let me know if I'm tripping. Why would you put your fighter in a 90-10 fight? Eddie? Why would you put your fighter in a 90-10 fight and then wonder why people say it's a curse over the matchroom and you finna be losing? So that might be another strike against Bivol because he's with Eddie Hearn. You do got to take that into consideration, considering a lot of people like to joke and say you go over there with Eddie Hearn, you're going to lose. But I've been saying for a while, Eddie Hearn stay getting his fighters beat. And I just don't understand, like, Eddie Hearn, why so many of your fighters be losing, bro? Like, what is up with that? Why do so many of your fighters be losing? Are you where people go when they want to get a matchup for a fighter that they fighter can beat because they know you willing to put your fighters in a 90-10 fight? A 90-10 fight? I don't know. Even if that's the case, I don't know why any promoter would say that out loud, because if I was one of your fighters, I'd be like, hell no, you're not about to put me in no 90-10 fight. What? The 50-50 fight? Okay, cool. You put your fighters in 50-50 fights. Okay, cool. So what you're saying is you don't do no matchmaking, Eddie? You just somebody just come to you like, hey, I got a fight for you. Like, all right, cool. I'm going to throw your fighter in there. I'm going to throw my fighter in there. You don't do no matchmaking with your fighters. You don't be like, this may not be a good fight for them right now at this time. You just, 90-10. Oh, I know it's a 10% chance you're going to win, but here you go. You do the whole 5-on-5 and every single one of your fighters lose. You didn't got Anthony Joshua beat. I mean, which one of Eddie fighters does it? I don't know. I don't know what's up with Eddie. I don't know what's up with Eddie. I don't know if that makes you a good promoter or a bad promoter because you're willing to take those type of risk with your fighter. Like you're willing to put your fighters in a 90-10 fight. I mean, I don't get it. And it's not like you're just doing it with some of your fighters. It seemed like you're doing it with all of your fighters. And even with Matias left PBC, went over there to Matchroom, hopped in the fight, lost, and now all of a sudden he's dropped from Matchroom. And I'm like, I know you didn't drop Matias from Matchroom because he lost. I definitely know you didn't do that. So I'm wondering, like, if Matias was just like, I'm not fooling with Eddie. I don't know. We got that whole boy in the building. What's going on, that whole boy? That whole boy, Beterbiev or Bivol? Who you got? Bivol made weight by 0.04 pounds. He not planning for a long fight. Well, he plus 600 for the knockout. I mean, so Ambrose West, like, are you talking like one first round, second round type knockout fight? Is that what you think? Like the game plan is? What do you think? I'm asking to chat. What do y'all think Bivol's game plan is, and what do you think Beterbiev's game plan is, or what do you think it should be for either one of them to come out victorious in this fight? You all are welcome to hit the link and come up here and give me your 2 cents about this topic. I want to hear what y'all got to say. He say, I'm riding with the old man. What about the knee injury? That whole boy, you think that will play a role in this fight? Do you think the knee injury will play a role in this fight? How does Beterbiev look in later rounds? Like, does he look like he may gas out? Does he gas out a little bit? Does he still have the same energy? Ambrose say Beeves' plan is a quick KO. Bivol going for a decision. Now, that's gonna be tough. A quick KO, that's gonna be tough because it's not like Bivol can't box. It's not like Bivol don't got good movement in the ring. It's not like Bivol don't have a good jab. So that's gonna be a tough game plan to implement. Them enhancements he taking will give him a leg up, pun intended. Okay. He got jokes. But we gonna see. We are going to see. So I know we getting the Bivol Beterbiev fight, but what happened to the undercard? Y'all remember how they was gonna put an undercard on pay-per-view with Shakur Stevenson? What happened? What is that still happening? Like, is the undercard going to be on ESPN now? Is there no undercard? Did we get an update on that? We got Aunt McQueen in the building. Beterbiev went 12. Beterbiev went 12. Went Cologne. Stopped him in the last round. Looked pretty good. Okay. We'll see. I read somewhere about Biv having some PED allocations or something. Well, it was something about him having an abnormal test for, was it testosterone? He had an abnormal test for something, but they were saying that, it wasn't nothing quote unquote illegal going on. His body just naturally makes that amount or something like that. So I don't know. What did they say the test was? What word did they use? It wasn't abnormal. It was, I can't think of what the word is that they use for that. He went 12. He went 10 with Gvastik. B Dog in the building. What's going on, B Dog? Says, yeah, it was reported he has been taking testosterone shots. Now, listen, testosterone and all that, you can get therapeutic use exemptions to use those things. So you can cheat legally. Well, I guess if it's legal, it's not cheating. So you can, a typical finding. Thank you, Ann McQueen. They ran further testing and didn't find anything. They had it in a typical finding. So don't get it twisted. You can get therapeutic use exemptions to use these things. So you can get a doctor's note. You get what I'm saying? Oh, somebody said it was an adverse finding. Okay. For HGH and testosterone, not the HGH. Man, McQueen say no, it's a typical, not adverse. His testosterone levels were high. Says especially with the knee surgery, they use it to speed up the healing. I think this was before the knee surgery though. He got a Russian doctor's note. Y'all funny. Your levels don't be that high at that age. I mean, but Beterbiev is a different he's a different type of individual. Did y'all see the video of all the people that was talking about they sparred him before and how hard he hit? And I'm like, damn, he hit that hard. So we gonna see if Bivol put his hands in his pockets and just be running around the whole fight, because that's also a possibility. If he feels that power and he feels some type of way, get them hands in them pockets and get on them skates. Beterbiev is a monster. They call that man Wolverine. Right? As men get older, our testosterone levels drop. Mr. Boxing Fanatic in the building. What's going on, Mr. Boxing Fanatic? He say salute to another realist. What's going on, Mr. Boxing Fanatic? Mr. Boxing Fanatic, B-Dog, Dragon Assassin, King Swisher, Beterbiev or Bivol. Who do y'all got in this fight coming up? We just looked up the odds. They didn't help me make a better decision. They do have Bivol winning this fight, but it's still close. I don't know. I mean, I think this is the first fight in a while where people are just like, I don't know. It could go either way. But I'm sitting here talking to y'all, and I'm thinking, some people say Beterbiev need to come out, get a knockout early. That should be the game plan for Beterbiev. Nobody has said what they think the game plan should be for Bivol. But I think Bivol needs to come out. He needs to use his jab. He needs to keep Beterbiev at the end of that jab. He needs to implement his lateral movement and his footwork. He needs to not get stuck on the ropes. He has to box circles around Beterbiev for all 12 rounds. He cannot afford to get caught slipping. He cannot afford to have no lapses in this fight. He just can't afford that. This has to be his best performance. This has to be his best performance. Now, Beterbiev, on the other hand, he has to be able to cut that ring off. He has to be able to try to take Bivol's jab away, get inside to get his punches off. And hopefully the knee injury, which I believe will be the defining difference, or one of the defining differences in this fight, hopefully it will not affect him and his movement in this fight. Dragon Assassin say he got Bivol. Appreciate you, Mr. Boxing Fanatic. That whole boy, sometimes it doesn't drop until 40. Even then, it's not supposed to be a steep decline, but only a 1% decrease, especially when you take care of yourself. I mean, I was picking Bivol this whole time, but now I'm not too sure. I was picking Beterbiev this whole time, but now I'm not too sure. And I'm not sure how much of I don't know, but another thing I'm not hearing people mention is how much do you think the age factor will play in this fight? Because these fighters get older, and then it just be one fight they look decent, then the next fight, boom, they look old all of a sudden. They're not looking the same, they're not moving the same, their power not hitting the same. And I think that may play a part in this fight, but who knows? You just never know. Says, I think Arthur will stop him late. I gotta go with Arthur. Okay. Bivol will be outboxing Beterbiev and will use footwork and stamina will be his advantage. And that's what I'm saying, Dragon. That's what I was saying at first. But when you have 100% knockout ratio, 100%, your whole career you knocked out every single body, nobody to slip through the cracks. You ain't won no fight by decision. It's kind of hard to bet against that if you ask my opinion. We got Terrence Best Videos on the panel. What's going on, Terrence? What's your 2 cents about this Beterbiev Bivol fight?
What up, 2 cents?
What's going on?
Yeah, I was trying to. I know y'all were talking about that on Knockout Channel. I was about to, but I had to go somewhere. Here's the thing. It's simple. I mean, I've said this for the longest. I don't think it's going to be close. I think Bivol out outboxes him. I mean, I just don't see a scenario where he's gonna. And I think he only has Beterbiev has one shot, and that's to knock him out. And I mean, maybe if he gets that lucky shot in, maybe. But I think it's going to be just a clinic. I mean, he shows that he's hard to hit him. That's his MO. His MO is very hard to hit this guy, and I don't think. I mean, you got to remember, isn't he going on 40? Beterbiev.
Yeah.
I
We
mean,
was
I
asking,
don't.
is
I
that
just
going to play a factor in the fight?
right. So I
He is.
mean, as this fight goes on, we got to know that that's favoring. But every round that it passes is going to favor Bivol. So I mean, I just don't. I hope it. Do you know what the numbers are? Betting line on that?
Oh, we could pull it up. We just pulled up the bed now. So long, we got
Yeah,
Big Supreme in the building.
What's up?
I'm
What's
going
up?
to be all over it. If it's
Listen, Terrence,
yeah.
we
Bivol's a
looked
slight
up.
favorite. He's not a huge favorite, so it's
He's the
not like
slight favorite, but
Okay,
I
I'm
mean,
all
I
over that.
I think the
I'm all over
knockout,
that.
I'm not gonna lie.
Beterbiev is plus 600 for the knockout.
Nah,
Plus 600.
he's plus 160.
No,
What is it?
hold on. I got you. Hold
160.
But
on.
it depends on the like if you got FanDuel or DraftKings or something like that. Because on FanDuel he's like plus 160 for the knockout.
Y'all see it?
That's see that surprises me because I
See, that's
think it should be.
Bovada. We don't have Bovada in New York.
Yeah, but I'm just
Oh,
saying any book given that number is surprising to me because I think it should be much higher. Because
I'm
I
not
don't
gonna
think.
lie to you. This is my thing, right?
Yeah.
Because how I found Knockout's channel, I was gonna do I was looking at some film and I'm like, yo, I wanna know if people do predictions of Arthur Beterbiev. And I Googled it, went on YouTube, and then I found Knockout Channel. This is before he had like memberships and stuff like that. So I'm like,
Okay.
oh, who's this dude from Texas that know about Beterbiev? Then I looked at Morel. He had a prediction for that. I'm like, oh, this dude knows his stuff. So that's how I started following Knockout. When I tell you that Beterbiev is a different monster, like I feel like people think like we over exaggerating or we just putting him on this unstoppable pedestal. I don't think it's that. Like this man beat Usyk in the amateurs, dropped him with a body shot, gave him a standing 8 count. Mind you, they was at cruiserweight at that time. He's knocked out everybody he's fought. If you hear the sparring stories, it's not like it's from one person. It's from multiple
right.
different fighters.
I was
Chad
just saying
Dawson,
that.
Brandon Glanton, Lonnie B, Gosvick, like all these different world level elite top professional boxers is telling you, look, this man hits like a Mack truck. And when you see him get in the ring with these dudes, it's like they go on a survival mode. It's like it's very weird. Like I've never seen nothing like it. And every fight, people say the same thing. He's slowing down. He's getting old, the injuries, this, that, and the third. And then he gets in the ring and he completely mauls these dudes. I really don't see what Bivol could do to beat Beterbiev. If I'm a casual, if I'm overrating him, then that it'll be that. But Bivol's already a naturally smaller dude for 175. He's like one of the smallest dudes up there. I don't see what he could do to deter Beterbiev from coming
So
forward.
you don't think he can use his jab lateral movement?
I see his jab. All right, so this is my thing. When you look at his fights, Bivol's a very good boxer, very technical. He's from the Soviet school of boxing. I get that. But his last couple fights, you look at someone like Linda Arthur. He's like a domestic level UK dude. So he was supposed to be him. You look at Zerto. Zerto's a good fighter, but he's not really all that. You look at Canelo. He's 5'7". He's a natural 154-pounder. Like, he hasn't beaten anybody that made me think, oh yeah, damn, Arthur might have some trouble. When you look at the people that Arthur didn't beat, Yard has like a 93% knockout ratio. You look at Caleb Smith. He's never been knocked out. He's never been dropped. He's never got a standing eight count in the amateurs. He's never been on the floor on the canvas in his professional career. He knocks him out. You look at the other dude that he knocked out, Gosvick, same thing. Bronze medalist, 6'4", very big, light heavyweight, never been down on the canvas in his career. What happens? He gets knocked out. He retires for 4 years. Like, this dude is something different. I'm like, I want to see what Bivol's game plan is going to be. Once he gets hit, you're going to see Bivol go into survival mode. I guarantee it. Now, if it's Father Time and he just falls off a cliff tomorrow, then that's a different subject. But I think he's going to completely dominate Bivol. And I think it's going to be shocking. People are going to be like, damn, I never knew this dude was. Yeah, it's a reason why the WBC came out and said, look, we're not going to sanction this undisputed fight. They've been champion in the same weight class for 7 years, bro.
Wait. Hold on. This not an undisputed fight?
No, I'm saying, like, at the time. So this is my thing, right? There's a couple of reasons why I'm back in Beterbiev. Now, they've been blocking this undisputed fight for years. Like I said, they've been champion in the same weight class for 7 years now. That's a very long time for two people to be champion and never cross paths at all. They never talked about a unification. They never discussed it. It's been like a secret. Now,
I think part of that too was nobody wanted to pay for it.
That too, but Turkey comes into boxing, and I think that's the real reason why Turkey got into boxing besides Crawford, in my opinion. He came through, he threw the bag, said, look, holler at Mauricio, look, I'm gonna give you a bag, fall back, we're gonna do this in Saudi Arabia, and this is what happened. Now, Eddie Hearns, the atypical thing, like usually when VADA, to my knowledge, when they find the adverse finding, then they publish whatever the results were. This was like an atypical. I feel like, in my opinion, Eddie Hearns used his connections and they published atypical and they try to muddy the waters. Because I think he knew that, all right, look, he's going to be fighting Bivol and that's going to be the excuse. Once Beterbiev knocks Bivol out, that's going to be the excuse. Well, he was on steroids, he was juiced up, he's a Terminator. That's going to be the excuse. Because, like, Eddie Hearns knows what's going to happen tomorrow. If you look at the press conference, how he's talking, he's calling Beterbiev arrogant. Look, I gave you, I flew you out here. I flew your family out, your team. The least you could be is grateful. Like,
man, that's what you're supposed to do. You the promoter.
That's what I'm saying. But he sounds like he's mad because he knows he's going to get knocked out. This is his last hope, really. Who else we got?
And we all know, I was just talking about that earlier too before you came on. Why all Eddie Hearn fighters keep getting beat up?
That's what I'm saying. All things, I could see Bivol getting a stoppage because Bivol actually punches harder than his record indicates. It's just been the hand surgeries and stuff like that. But I think Beterbiev is going to maul him. I'm not going to lie to you. But I'll let somebody else talk.
Big Supreme with the Big Supreme up here spitting the facts. Look, that's a good breakdown. That makes a lot of sense, but there's a lot of people that really believe that Bivol,
it's because of the Canelo win,
to outbox him.
It's the Canelo win. They don't realize.
I mean, but Bivol is a good boxer, though.
No, look, you know what it is? It's so funny because you hear all of these different YouTube channels. They call Canelo a cherry pick. He's a coward. He's on cruise control. But they're basing Bivol beating Beterbiev on Canelo and how that fight looked. But you gotta remember, Canelo has like a 69-inch arm reach. He's 5'7". He started his career at 140. He's not
He's
even
a
really supposed to
smaller
be at
guy.
168. So Beterbiev won 3 gold medals at cruiserweight and heavyweight. So I'm trying to figure out like what did they see? Like I don't know what it is with slick boxes that people feel like, oh, you know what? If you got to do like Tank or you got to do like Beterbiev, like they get labeled as like crude power punchers that can't fight. It's very weird.
So how do you rate Beterbiev's boxing skills?
I
Like,
think
do you think he can cut the ring off?
I think Beterbiev is the best fighter at cutting the ring off. I've never seen nobody outbox him for a whole fight. Like he's never seen the 12th round in his career.
No, somebody just said he knocked somebody out in the 12th round.
That was
Gosvick or somebody.
no, that wasn't Gosvick. That was a dude named Colin. But I mean, maybe his coach was lying, but they said that they wanted him to go 12 rounds to see how it felt because once the 12th round hit, he turned on the gas and pressure and got him out of there. So I don't think they would lie about that. But I think that Beterbiev is a very under. He's like Tank basically. People look at Tank, oh, they think that Tank is gonna find that lucky shot. He's gonna be down on all the scorecards, and then he's gonna get a lucky punch, and that's it. That's not what's going on. Like if
No,
you look at the fight and see what Beterbiev is doing, the way he doesn't follow them is like he put Caleb Smith. I think Caleb Smith is an Olympian too. He put him in the corner in the first 30 seconds of the first round. And I knew it was over. I was at work and I told my coworker about it. I'm like, yo, look, this Russian dude is the truth. He like, yo, this dude, he can't fight. The first 30 seconds, he put Caleb in the corner.
mm.
I said, look, this not going 10 rounds. I'm going to take 7 through 12. And the hit, he was like, damn, yo, who this dude, man? And I was telling him, like, look, when he fight this dude in Saudi, watch what's going to happen. He's like, nah, man, Canelo, he beat him. I just want to feel vindication tomorrow afternoon when I see what.
We got paid in full
What
on the
what time?
panel.
What time is that fight?
What's
Like around
going on?
4.
At
What's
four
going on,
o'clock.
paid in full?
Victor
All right,
Listen,
Clemens.
paid in full. We got Beterbiev, Bivol. What's your 2 cents? Who you got winning the
Hey,
fight?
I don't think nobody can break it down better than how Big Supreme did it. I agree with the majority of everything you're saying. I just don't see no with fighters like uh Arthur Beterbiev. I just feel like he more so like he said with Tank also like they don't just look to throw shots like these are actual strategized set up shots that they're taking. So it's like I don't feel like and I felt like Canelo was just too small for Bivol, so it was obviously easier for him to keep him on the outside. But
Right.
and that's why I feel like a lot of people are picking Bivol to win. But I think with it's just hard to pick against Beterbiev, man. He's just different, man. Like that dude's different.
I mean, it kind of don't make no sense to base it off of Canelo when Canelo came up from a smaller weight class. So
Yeah.
that's
That's
a
what they
little
doing.
weird.
I,
That's
well,
weird to me. Like I
well,
don't
well,
even know why that's in consideration.
I'm not basing it based on Canelo. I'm basing it on his skill set. Like you can tell a guy that knows angles, that knows how to move, that knows how to not to get hit, and I just don't see him just coming straight at him and him just knocking him out.
I,
Remember, Tyson had some of the greatest power in the world, but we
But
saw
see,
what happened when guys took angles and hit Tyson. So I
that's
mean,
different.
I don't care how much power he has, you still got to hit your target. This is the exact reason I'm picking Shakur over Tank. Yes, these guys. If you get hit by these guys or get put in the corner, like someone said, yeah, that's fights the night's over. But I don't expect him to be in the corner at all in this fight. And
I
you're absolutely
guarantee.
right. If he lets that guy, if he
So you
lets
think
Better be put him in the corner, yes, you're right. It's over. If Tank gets you in the corner, it's over.
We
So
got
I don't
Just
think
Do in
Shakur
the
is going to let.
building. What up,
I don't
Just
think
Do?
Okay.
so
Yeah, go ahead.
so
Go ahead.
Terrence, so what
Yeah,
you
I don't
telling me?
think Okay, go ahead.
my bad, within a 12 round fight, you gotta think, bro. At some point, like he not respecting your power, so you gonna have to sit down and fight, bro. Like it ain't all that boxing and shit is cool, but a lot of these fighters is not Floyd Mayweather. They're not slipping punches like he was doing, bro. Like it's different. I just feel like it's different, bro. Like
But somebody just said that Beterbiev moves front and back. Now, when you have a fighter that moves front and back, and then you got a fighter that uses a jab and lateral movement, that's gonna be tough for Beterbiev to
yeah,
overcome that.
All right, so this is my thing with Beterbiev, right? Beterbiev is a very unique power puncher, right? He doesn't overcommit. You don't see him swinging wildly or telegraphing. It's very short, compact punches. Like you gotta what when people talk about Beterbiev, like I'm not saying you guys on the panel. I'm just saying in general. Like you could tell that they're not watching his fights. Like every punch is very short, very crisp. The technique,
Mm-hmm.
like I guarantee he's gonna wear Bivol down. I'm not saying Bivol's not gonna do his thing. I think he's gonna win rounds. It's gonna be very competitive. But I think around the eighth, seventh, ninth round, you're gonna see Bivol become very stationary, and you're gonna see him not move anymore. Once he does that, it's over.
But
My
why
Why
you
do
thing
you
think
is,
he
think
not?
he's gonna
But
do that?
hold on. Let me ask you a question about it, Supreme. You said the eighth or ninth round.
Yeah,
Now,
I want to know why
another
you think
thing
he's
I
gonna
was
become
the
think
reason why I
I
feel like
was.
stationary.
that because I'm
But
giving
hold on,
Bivol
wait.
the
Let me ask
respect.
this because I was asking, do you think the knee injury will affect his movement in this fight? And I think if that is true, that will make a big difference in this fight.
All right, so this is my thing with Better BF. Now, if you want to go with the theory that he's on steroids, it's very possible because he's from the Russian school of boxing. If y'all know about Russia, they got the most
Yeah.
yeah, they had a whole scandal with the IOC or whatever. So it's very possible.
I think they
Now,
got banned from the Olympics too.
yeah. So now the second thing, he's pulled out of like 5 fights for like very like miscellaneous injuries. Like he pulled out the Caleb Smith fight for like or something with his tooth. He had to get a root canal. He pulled out of the fight with Yard at first. He pulled out of the fight with Gosvick. Like this is his MO. Like he'll pull out of the fight. Yo, look, I need some time, my knee or my arm, whatever. I'm telling you, bro, you're gonna see them all. If I
So it's a
know who
it's a
Beterbiev
pattern
is,
with him, is what you
it's a
saying.
pattern. You could
yeah,
Google it. He's pulled out of like 5 or 6 fights,
yeah,
and
yeah.
probably more than that. So I think he's gonna be in great shape. I don't think the knee is gonna be a problem. I think he's gonna. I'm giving Bivol the respect to say that he can box for 9 rounds, but
Hmm.
it might happen earlier. I think Arthur's very fired up for this fight. They know each other. Like
Right.
I really
So
think he's gonna put him in the dirt, like my man Spence would say.
so the odds ain't saying that though, Big Supreme.
You gotta think, right? This man's 39 years old. He has a meniscus injury. Why is the odds so close?
Because he's good. I mean,
That's what I'm trying to
everybody
show
knows
you.
he's good.
That's what I'm
But
trying.
why is he plus
He's like
five?
a
Oh, they
plus
just changed it.
140. That's
He's a
like
he's
that's
a
almost even
plus.
money.
He's a plus. Okay. I
So
mean,
my thing
yeah.
is this, right? When you look at Beterbiev, right, his fifth fight was Tavares Cloud. Tavares Cloud fought Bernard Hopkins. He fought Gabriel Campillo. I think he fought Chad Dawson. This is the former IBF champion. He knocked him out in 2 rounds in his fifth professional fight. This I don't think people understand how different this dude. I don't want to sound like I'm up here glazing this dude, but if you watch all his fights and you see the tactics that he used, how he punches. Before he used to be more wild. He used to rush in, lunge in, stuff like that. From the Yard fight to now, I would say from the Gosvick fight to now, his jab has gotten much better. He's gotten much better at cutting off the ring. I really think he's gonna hurt Bivol. I really don't see unless Bivol can punch hard and his record indicates and knocks Better BF Cole out. I don't see it. Like people think he's gonna box to a 12 round decision. I don't see it. At some point in the fight, he's gonna overwhelm him for
Yeah, it's
sure.
gonna be tough to do. And I was just saying that before you hopped on. Like the man got 100% knockout ratio, right? And it's not like he can't box at all. So Bivol gonna have to be perfect for this fight.
Yep.
Beterbiev can afford to make more mistakes.
I don't
Bivol
think Bivol could
cannot.
do it. I don't think
Absolutely.
Bivol could do it. You ain't see
Yeah.
what Gosvick said? They say, yo, look, what you think? What's your path to victory for Bivol in this fight? And Gosvick said to run. Don't throw no punches, just run. I said, yo, this dude is crazy. Like, what? He
And I
said
was
just to
wondering
run.
if Bivol feel that power, would he get his hands in his pocket and be running all night? Could
He's
this
gonna
fight
run.
end up being a draw?
Yo, I ain't gonna
Uh,
lie. I think Arthur's gonna stop him, bro. I don't see no. I don't see nothing else. I really don't see nothing else. I feel like the most likely scenario. I think he's gonna outbox him, and like I said, he's gonna slow down, become stationary, and I think it's curtains after that. You're gonna see it. You're gonna
sort of
see
like
it tomorrow. You're gonna see the body language change. You're gonna see Bivol start grimacing. You're gonna see him not moving as much, and I guarantee you he's gonna stop him. Like if I was sure on the pick, it would be Tank by stoppage and Beterbiev by stoppage. I don't see nobody in the 175 division that's gonna do nothing with Beterbiev. I don't
I
see.
do think Bivol is he is small though. He is small for the weight class. Hey, listen up. If you're in the building, I appreciate you for joining me tonight, Friday night live, talking boxing. Be sure to punch that like and subscribe button. Make sure you check out my content throughout the week when I drop videos. If you would like to monetarily support the channel, you see the Cash App going through the bottom of the screen. But I would like to thank everybody for joining me today and chatting with me, giving they 2 cents.
no, for sure.
But yeah, so I don't know, man. But look, all I've been hearing, Big Supreme, I haven't heard a definitive this person gonna win, that person gonna win. People really think Bivol got a shot. Now, before I was like, ain't no way, but Beterbiev definitely gonna win. But then I start taking into consideration the knee injury. Will that affect his movement, his age? But like you just brought to my attention, the injuries and the pulling out is a pattern for him. It's a
Pattern for sure.
pattern. So I know he had got some injuries before, which was kind of like, oh, he been getting injury after injury, but I'm not realizing that might have been a little bit more strategic. You get what I'm saying? Than just,
It
oh,
was
I'm
strategic
injured.
because you
Yeah,
gotta think, right? They scheduled a fight for June 1st. He fought in January. That would have been like a 5 month turnaround. He wouldn't have got a chance to get a proper camp and stuff like that. So I feel like this was like you gotta think, right? I think the WBC came out and said, look, you gotta show us proof that your knee was injured. So I feel like they even thought it was bullshit, like in
But
my opinion.
what about what All Things said? He said, what if it looks like Pyro versus Matias?
Yo, I ain't gonna lie. Better BF is a different. There's a whole list of like sparring stories, bro.
Yeah, I
You know
did
what
see that
sold me?
video. You seen that video with all the sparring stories?
You know what sold me? There's a dude from Philly named Dafir Smith. He be on YSM Media all the time, and he asked him. He said, "Yo," because I guess like he didn't. He was a good boxer, but he didn't really have a good career like that. Well, he asked him like, who's the hardest punch you ever sparred? This dude said Better BF in like 2 seconds. So he said that when he went to camp for Better BF, this is when he was like 5-0 or 4-0. He said that dudes was quitting. They had to give him a bonus for getting through the whole like camp. And he said, "What do you think?" He said, "Look, I think he's gonna stop Bivol, and I think he's gonna retire undefeated." Mind you, this was before he fought Kalen, before he fought Yard, and I went down a whole rabbit hole on YouTube because I've been knowing about Better BF. I've been a fan, but I didn't know there was so many sparring stories about him. So when I start doing my research, I'm like, damn, like there's a lot of good fighters that even like Andre Ward, for example, not to be funny and put out no conspiracy theories and nothing like that. He was Ward's mandatory. Why did Ward? Everybody asks why did Ward retire prematurely. In my opinion, I think it was because of Better BF.
Wow, really? We got
Really.
DDP on the panel. What's going on, DDP? What's your 2 cents about the conversation? The Beterbiev.
Hey, y'all, can y'all hear me?
I can
Yeah,
hear
we
you.
can hear you.
Hey, man. Hey, look, Supreme, I'm backing you up, bro. Hey, listen, Bivol, I mean, he has shown that he's fleet of foot. He got good footwork, boxing prowess. Hey, look, everything is intact. And, a lot of people are saying that Beterbiev or Beterbiev, however you want to say his name, has not seen a guy like him. But you have to say that it's the same thing for Bivol. He has not seen a destructive force like Beterbiev, and this is the thing about Beterbiev, man. He does not get discouraged easy. Boxing is like some people say 80 to 90% mental.
Mm-hmm.
This guy does not break. Like boxers are mentally and physically trying to break each other down, break each other's will. You know, now Bivol was able to break Canelo's will to win. Like, I ain't gonna say Canelo never like stopped trying to win the fight, but I think he knew that he was outgunned, you know what I'm saying,
Mm-hmm.
towards the end of that fight. Bivol is not gonna be able to do that to Beterbiev. Beterbiev have gotten off the mat before. He's been knocked down and all to get up and to destroy fighters. Now, this is the thing. Does anybody, yeah, I mean, if you follow for a little while, does anybody know who Vosdick is?
Yeah.
Vosdick is the guy that ended Adonis Stevenson's career.
For
Y'all
the
remember
monogamy.
that? Like Adonis Stevenson and Kovalov was supposed to be like the big fight in light heavyweight at one point in time.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wanted to see. Vosdick ended that. Vosdick knocked Adonis Stevenson out. This Adonis Stevenson, God bless him, is a guy that in the ring, his whole life changed. Like his career has been over since then. He has not boxed again. Now, Vosdick, since Beterbiev knocked him out, he has come back, but he don't look the same as he used to. But it's because Beterbiev destroys fighters. He breaks their will to not only win the fight, but to continue fighting. That's the kind of like wrecking force that he is. This guy is been underrated, and this fight has been underrated. This probably is one of the best fights, like really, in
We
like
having a long time, bro.
yeah, yeah. Like this fight has been so underrated, and I'm gonna tell you a reason why too. Because of the West, we in the West, and Russian propaganda is like frowned upon over here,
Right. That's
especially
true.
what's
That's
going
true.
on right now in the world with Russia.
In
Right.
Ukraine.
So even though these guys like they defected from Russia, they no longer live in Russia, but at the same time, because they Russian fighters, I feel that that's a reason why their name has been pushed down and like nobody really wanted to kind of push these guys. You know what I'm saying? But hey, Turkey Al Sheik getting the fight done. I mean, kudos to him. But yeah, man, this is one of the best fights that we probably gonna see in a long time. But I got to say, man, Bivol, I think because of he's younger. That's the thing he has on his side is he's younger, and he has good footwork. I think that's gonna suit him well in the beginning. But Beterbiev, make no mistake about it. Like I say, I'm backing you up, bro, because people slight Beterbiev's boxing prowess as well because he's such a destructive force. Everybody just remember that he knocked this guy out. They
Mm-hmm.
don't they don't know that he does like small, subtle things that that's like shows he has an IQ for the sport. Like he is
I'm
a
gonna give you an
boxer.
example, right?
Yeah.
And like for example, everybody always say, "Oh well, Anthony Yarde was doing good till he got stopped." That's false. You got beat pillar to post the whole fight. Same thing with Marcus Brown. I had people say, "Oh,
I
Marcus
thought
Brown was."
Anthony Yarde gave him a good fight.
Look, he landed a couple good punches, but what people don't realize what Beterbiev was doing, right? I remember, I think it was the fifth round. Yarde threw a jumping left hook and caught Beterbiev, right? So Beterbiev backed up. And then I heard Tim Bradley and the other dude, oh, Beterbiev's hurt. That buzzed him. So your man, y'all start walking forward, start marching, and he start, throwing his little combos. Arthur pivot from the corner and put him in the corner and just
Yep.
started unleashing on this dude.
Yeah,
Yep.
hey,
You dig
Yep.
what I'm saying? So
that's
it's
the
like
little subtle things that
the
he do. He can quickly pivot and change his whole direction and put a boxer where he wants
He
them
wants
to
him to
be.
be. Exactly.
Yeah.
Another example, Caleb Smith.
Yeah.
Same thing. He threw the
From the
left hook.
beginning, like you said earlier, from the beginning, he had him, and I think he did that by design. That wasn't like a thing. He don't usually start real fast, but I think he had to do that because Caleb Smith is so long. He had to bully him from the gate to let him know that, hey, look, what it's gonna be. You know what I'm saying?
And then same thing. He lured him, put him against the ropes.
Yeah.
He would another thing too, like a lot of people do, they like to follow fighters, like so like he's following Beterbiev again, pivots through overhand right, temple shot, that was it. Put him on the canvas. You hear Tim Bradley screaming, "Oh, he shut him up! Look, he shut him up!" So like people don't respect this man's IQ. Now I
Yeah.
could be completely wrong tomorrow. He could go tomorrow and get washed up, beat up by Bivol, and lose the fight. But if I know who Arthur is and what I've seen the last couple of years, I think he's really gonna stop him.
So let me ask you a question. What does Bivol need to do, in your
Like
opinion,
Gosvick
your
said, he
two
need to
cents?
run.
What
He need to
what
run the whole
what
fight.
can he the whole like pop shot him the whole
He got
fight?
a pop shot. He got to do what Shakur did to Santos. That's the only way I see him winning the fight. If you notice, Bivol doesn't move a lot. He doesn't use lateral movement. He's not using his feet like that. Bivol holds his ground and stands in the middle of the ring. If he does that with Beterbiev, he's gonna get stopped. So now, if he got a game plan to move around and use lateral movement, that's fine if you want to do that. But I don't think he's gonna have the stamina to do that for 12 rounds of Beterbiev. This man has 100%. And like I said, he's not telegraphing. He's not headhunting. Like he's a real. I think he's a killer. Like him
Yeah.
anyway. Tank is like they're the top killers to me in the sport.
Yeah.
Like they not playing
Yeah.
with their food. They're not gonna sit
Yeah.
there. If they got you hurt, they're gonna get you out of there.
Yeah.
It's not a situation where you get a knockdown and then the fighter loses the opportunity to. No, he's not playing with you.
Yeah. And he's not like Sabril Matias. Like Matias was just like a guy that he has some IQ, but his IQ ain't high enough to deal with real pure boxers that's gonna hold their ground. But Beterbiev is not like that. He is a guy. He is a destructive force that comes like for one purpose. He wants to stop you. You know what I'm saying? He don't.
Where do you guys rank Usyk in the pound for pound rankings?
I got Usyk number 1 and number 2.
Yeah,
Number
I'm
one,
gonna
number
tell you
two.
with Usyk. A lot of people say it's not fair to rank the heavyweights in the pound for pound, but at the same time, that man just
But he
his
came from cruiserweight to heavyweight. That's
right.
why
He
I say
came
number
up to
1.
heavyweight. Yeah,
Yeah.
he his IQ is high, especially to be somebody that's so big. He is very
DDP,
I think he
Big
went out.
Supreme, you there?
But what I was
Oh,
gonna say
okay.
is the reason why I mentioned Usyk is because they got like 4 fights in the amateurs and they were all competitive, but only one person got dropped, and that was Usyk. He dropped him with a body shot, gave him a standing 8 count, and like I said, the reason why he didn't win gold is because he's from Russia. Now he's won gold on like the world stage and stuff like that, but I'm talking about the actual Olympics.
Right. Well, we already know how the Olympics
He's
are.
basically blackballed, but if you got Usyk as the pound for pound number one, and if you watch his fights with Usyk, I really don't see what people see with Bivol, bro. Maybe I'm just biased and I'm blinded by, I guess, my fandom for Beterbiev, but he's already a smaller dude, bro. I really don't see it. Like I'm
So
gonna
so
give.
when do you see the fight ending? Like,
I
what's your
tell you
prediction?
between I think between 7 and 10, he gonna get him out of there.
Between
Between 7 and 10.
7 and 10.
But if you was to bet, because they got 1 through 6, 7 through 12, I would just say 7 through 12. He gonna get him out of there for sure.
So what made because like I said before the injury,
All right, so look,
and I
you
was
look at
like, I'm pretty sure Beterbiev gonna win this fight, but I just be curious, what is it that makes people think Bivol's gonna be able to pull it off? And I'm like, maybe he can outbox him, use his movement, stay off the ropes. If he can do that for 12 rounds, it's gonna be tough. But if he can pull it off, he can pull out the win.
see, but Bivol's not a fighter like Shakur though. That's what I think people like. He's slick, but he's not a mover like that. Like I watch his fights, he doesn't move like that. Like not to be funny, like people call Shakur a runner and stuff like that, but I never seen Bivol do that. And if all right, so another thing too, I'm not saying that people are bandwagon fans, but a lot of dudes can't name 5 fights that Bivol had.
I
They'll
think
say
he stopped
Canelo.
his last opponent, didn't he?
Yeah, that was Malik. That was Malik Zanad. Now look,
Yeah, he stopped his last
Malik
opponent.
Zanad. The reason why I'm saying this because I be betting. So sometimes I lose, sometimes I win. But Malik Zanad is a dude from I think he's from Africa. I forgot what country though, but he's from Africa though. He fought a prospect named Jerome Pampalone from Australia. He beat him. Now look, you got to pay attention. It was for like an IBF title eliminator, right? He
Mhm.
beat the dude. He's like, you know what? I'm not gonna go the Beterbiev route. He went the WBA route. So I think I got a chance to fight Bivol, right? He got in the ring with Bivol. I knew that Bivol was gonna stop him because I seen the fight with Pampelon. Like, he got nothing for Bivol. But what I didn't like was how easily he hit Bivol. Every fight that Bivol has, he gets hit. He got stunned by Joe Smith. He was getting hit by Malik Zanad. He got hit by Zerto. He got hit by Craig Richards. He got hit by Canelo. He's getting hit by dude like someone like Shakur. I could give Shakur his credit. He doesn't really get hit like that. He gets hit, but not
Right,
flush.
right,
I've
right.
seen Bivol get hit a whole lot, but the dudes that's hitting them, they either smaller dudes, they can't punch like that, or like he takes the steam off the punches by rolling and stuff like that. I just don't see him being able to do that with someone like Beterbiev.
So what I
Yeah.
hear you saying is Bivol is outmatched.
He's outgunned.
Yeah.
Like the power department is like completely like that like if Beterbiev is 100, Bivol's like a 40. Like it's completely outmatched. Now he has other attributes that he could use. Now he could punch. I'm not gonna lie. People always say, well, Beterbiev got knocked down. He got knocked down by Caleb Johnson. Caleb Johnson moved up the cruiserweight. He's a big dude.
Yeah.
And if you
Right.
look at the interview with Caleb Johnson, he tells you, yo, I don't even remember the fight. Like
Yeah.
he threw an
Hey.
overhand right. Look, he threw an overhand right and caught him on the temple. And this dude crumbled him. I remember when Charlo fought Castaño and he crumbled in front of him.
Yep.
That's exactly how it looked. He threw an overhand right, caught him, and crumbled him. Mind you, he just knocked Beterbiev down in the round before. Now, if you look at the fight, it's because Beterbiev was so anxious. He got caught and he was off balance. He wasn't hurt. He wasn't in jeopardy. He got up and he beat this dude's ass. You look at when he fought Marcus Brown. This man had a deep cut in his forehead. The
Yeah.
fight could have been stopped at any minute. And what he completely pummeled this dude into submission. Now you look at Marcus Brown, he moved up the cruiserweight. These are big dudes. This dude is 6'4", 200 something pounds. These ain't little dudes that he's doing this to. Like I said, these dudes
Yep.
Yeah.
never been knocked out
Yep.
before.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Now
That's
this is
all true.
another.
All true. All true. Big Supreme coming through with the assessment. Y'all got to give Big Supreme his props.
Yeah. Hey, I give him his props. That's why I say I'm just backing him up. I'm backing up what he say because everything he's saying is true.
All things, right? That's my man in the
Everything he's
comments,
saying
right?
is true. And this is the thing about Beterbiev you got to look at too. All right, like I think his reach is like 73. Bivol reach is like 71. You know what I'm saying? And like he was saying about Canelo, like I don't understand how these boxing pundits, like they supposed to be boxing pundits. They are some of these guys are saying that Bivol can knock out Beterbiev. I don't see it, man. But
It's
No, I don't
because
see
propaganda,
that.
this
man.
is the thing, like this guy's like a crescendo. When he starts out, like he does have, I believe, one punch knockout power, but he don't try to load up on all his punches. He just want to hit you. Like he don't have to hit you all.
Yo, I seen him hit Yard on his hip. I seen him hit
Yeah,
Brown on his hip, on his shoulder, on his neck. I'm like, yo, if
yeah,
you know, like these is big dudes that he's beating into submission. It's not like he's, not to be funny with like Tank or Abdullah Mason. Oh, he bought this guy for 126, or he bought this dude up from 122. No, he's beating
yeah,
these these dudes that walk around 215, 220. He's
yeah.
not playing with you. Now,
And he stay in shape.
He stay in shape year round.
He's
Now,
serious. He's serious with his craft. Like he not just boxing and going out partying. And this guy is serious about his craft.
and
He's a
then
gym rat, and he's always trying to perfect his craft.
one last thing, right? Like I said, it's a possibility that this dude looks old overnight tomorrow and gets outboxed, and my prediction looks crazy. I'm just going based on what I've seen. Like like I said, I bet this the reason why I'm subscribed to KO, because just because of the boxing bag, really for real. So I'm looking at these fights. I'm looking at who they fought. Who's Craig Richards? Like who
Hold on,
is
y'all. Hold on. Shout out to Alan Sostan for the $5 in the Cash App. Thank you for your donation to the channel. I really appreciate it.
yeah?
All right, go
All
ahead.
I was gonna say is like Bivol's record is kind like who he fought really for real. Like he beat Zerto, he beat Canelo, but who did he really beat? Like
Man,
this man took the long route. Like he's been fighting champions since his fifth fight. He had to go get the WBC. He had to go get the WBO. He was trying to get the Bivol fight. They was blocking it for the last 5 years. They was talking about this fight in 2020 and
Why you think they
2019
was blocking it though?
because they wanted to age him out. That's what I'm saying. When I be telling certain people, like I feel like your
Well,
channel.
hold on. Shout out to Boxing Hacker Mark Q in the building. Who else has joined us? I think that's it. Shout out to Boxing Hacker and Mark Q in the building.
Thank you to Ann McQueen. That's my point. I was gonna say right. Marcus Brown didn't gas. He just was taking a beating and he couldn't go anymore. Now Max Kellerman did I guess you could say like a soliloquy on HBO. And I guess he was on the fire because he said Gosvick quit in the Beterbiev fight. He did a whole little monologue about it. And he said Gosvick had enough. He said, you know what? I'm not going to say he quit. He had enough. And when that's the perfect metaphor for Beterbiev. Every fight you see him in, you see these dudes,
yeah,
they had enough. They don't want no more.
yeah,
Now, he's not like Tank where he's going to put you out. But I don't know what the power is like. But I'm just going off of what I'm hearing people say. You see the tides change in the fight. Now
yeah,
I've watched enough fights for Better BF, so I'm gonna know what to look for. After the first 3 or 4 rounds, I'm gonna look for the body language change. If the body language changes like I think it's gonna do, I know it's not going 12. I'm just
We
waiting for
got
the first 3 or 4 rounds. That's it.
we got
yeah.
Ed
He,
McQueen on the panel. What's up, Ed
Oh
McQueen? How you
man,
doing? What's going
I'm feeling
on?
good. Thanks for that sound effect. That thing is super legit. I'm with my
Appreciate
guy. I'm with my guy Big Supreme because I think that Bivol is fantastic. He's great at what he does, but the more I watch Arthur, especially like he said, from like Vosdick on, and you just see some of the little subtle things he does. Even early in his career, like when he fought against the dude who dropped him in the second round. Who's that? Callum Johnson, right?
Callum Johnson's a fact. Hmm.
Yo, he had a little moment in that fight where he did something so damn crafty. I'm like, I didn't even know he had that in his bag. He threw a straight right hand from the orthodox stand, shifted while he was in southpaw. He threw a 2-1. Like he threw left hand, straight left, then a right, then he pivoted out to evade a shot. I'm like, yo, this dude got more skills than what he's given credit for. I think
yeah,
that you hear so many stories about the power, but when you really watch him, another thing to pay attention to tomorrow. This is one thing I've been looking at Big Supreme.
Hmm.
Shout out D-Ray live on the drive. What's going on?
You know how in a orthodox matchup, close stance, two orthodox fighters, typically you're told to circle
Hmm.
counterclockwise away from the power hand. This dude, he does it to an obsessive level. Frequently moving to his right,
Hmm.
almost exclusively. And then sometimes if he finds himself in a tough position, he'll go back to his left momentarily and he'll do like a little foot feint or shoot a jab. And then he's right back to moving to his right. And he's always looking to place himself outside of the other guy's jab. Like if you rewatch the fight with Callum Smith, he was doing that shit to Callum Smith all night, countering over the top of his jab, um,
Mind you, Caleb got like the
manipulating him with
biggest
his
arm
feet.
reach.
Yeah, it was crazy. manipulating him with his
Yeah.
feet. He'd be like right in position, take that one little step back, counter with a hook over the top of the right hand, placing shots to the body.
Yeah.
Like, yo,
And he has a chin, man. He gets hit, but he has a chin.
yep. But here's the other thing too. Not just the chin, but he's also got good recuperative powers. That's the one thing I want to see
Yeah.
with Bivol. You know, I seen some people try to slight Beterbiev and say, well, he got dropped by Jeff Page, he got dropped by Callum Johnson. Them guys are bums. They're not as good as Bivol.
Jeff
But the
Page
one
can
thing we do
punch
know,
though.
I know Big Supreme, but here's the
They
one
don't
thing
know
though that
that.
we do know is when he was in those moments where it got a little bit turbulent and he faced some adversity, look how he finished the fight. Yeah, he got dropped in the second round, but he ended up stopping the dude in like the fourth or something like that.
But they
Callum
not.
Johnson.
But Bivol, unless he really finna be just sitting in there, sitting down on his shots, I don't think he's a threat to knock out or knock down Beterbiev.
I think that's his only chance of path to victory, in my opinion.
Man, if he play around and like try to sit in the pocket, he done, man. He cannot stay in the pocket. But I'm gonna tell you this, like Supreme said earlier, Beterbiev knows how to put you where he wants you to be. And it's by design. It's not like coincidence. And at any angle, he's looking to touch you. So it's like if he can't touch you exactly where he want to touch you, he
DDP.
My son keep going in and out.
the
I
guy
know
the
I
guy
know exactly
touched
what you're saying though.
the
I'm
guy
with you on that.
touched
I
him
know
on the
exactly what he's
hip.
saying.
He did the same thing to what's his name?
Gosvick,
Who you was just talking about, Marcus
Marcus
Brown. He
Brown.
did the same thing to him.
Yep.
Like he'll hit you in the hip to place you where he wants you to go. You know what I'm saying? Like he do little things like that. Like he is a roughhouse dude that don't use like headbutts and elbows and all,
Exactly.
but he knows how to rough you up and put you where he want to put you. So Bivol is gonna have to be able to keep him off him. But this is the thing, like I was saying earlier, Bivol, like people, like they give him praise about Canelo. He was able to keep Canelo off him, but that's because of his reach. But he don't have his reach is like 71. Beterbiev reaches 73. He's not gonna be able to keep him at the end of his jab and then be able to like take a step back or a step to the side and be out of range. You know what I'm saying?
And you know
He's
what's
not
crazy?
gonna.
I just want to say one thing, right? If Bivol does beat Beterbiev, then to me he's the pound for pound best fighter in the world. That's one. Two, everybody that's basing Bivol's victory over Beterbiev is they're saying that we don't know if he's gonna be old. It's gonna be the injuries. We don't know how he's gonna look. The knee. What happens if he comes in there and he looks reinvigorated? Like he looks energized. Like what are you gonna say? It's lights out.
It's gonna be tough.
It's gonna be
I agree
tough,
with
bro.
2 cents that man. Like at some point, I'm not saying he gotta live in the pocket. He ain't gotta live there, but at some point you gotta take chances.
Yo,
The
Sellers
two
funny,
times the
man.
guy has been dropped, it was guys that stood in there momentarily and they fired a shot and theirs got there before his does. Before his did. But just staying on the outside, like yo, plenty of guys have tried to move against him. And here's another thing that hasn't been taken into consideration. Both of these dudes come out of the same system. That pendulum step, like that in and out, that is a staple of the Soviet boxing system.
He's used to that.
Mhm.
He's used to that. And this dude got over
Yeah,
300
That's
amateur fights.
true.
He's seen
That's
he
that
done
before.
true.
seen that. Yeah,
That's true. I didn't even think about that like that, but that's true.
I feel
you
like
better know
Beterbiev
this
has
though.
seen like 50 Bivels.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
never seen a Beterbiev.
never.
Well, he has Big Supreme in sparring, and apparently, from my understanding,
He
it
whooped his
didn't really.
ass.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna
Yeah, I
say.
heard Beterbiev stay beating up Bivol and sparring.
They was on the same Russian amateur team.
Did
But
y'all see that? What's the name when that moment when they first had the inaugural first face off, and they
yeah,
asked him about it, and then you know what Beterbiev said? He knows.
exactly. He knows.
And they were asking him, the dude who was interviewing him was
He said,
asking
"What does
like,
he
what does he
know?
know? And he says he knows.
He knows what's gonna happen." He looked at Eddie
Wow.
Hearns and said,
Look,
"Look,
Shell is convinced.
your shell is funny as hell."
He say Bivol will shock y'all tomorrow, and when Bivol win, he don't want to hear no Beterbiev was old excuses. He don't want to hear it.
Now he gonna get all the credit for me for sure.
He gonna get
Yeah.
all the credit from me too, man.
For sure. But it's funny
Man,
because Beterbiev was like, "Yo, Eddie Hearn, I want to set up a fight with you." He was like, "I don't want to fight you. I got Bivol." He said, "Look, I'm gonna take care of him tomorrow. Don't worry about that. We got to set up something with me and you." And
And we
Bivol just
we
looked
we
at him
we,
like,
we gotta
damn, yeah.
acknowledge that Bivol being with Eddie Hearn don't help his case either.
I'm trying to show you who was sitting next to Beterbiev. Frank Warren.
That's what I'm saying. That don't help his case either. All right, I think I know who I'm putting my money on now. Y'all convincing me. Because I didn't know. I really didn't know. I wasn't sure. I did feel like maybe Bivol had some paths to victory. It was just gonna be tough. So y'all are saying that for Bivol to win, he's gonna have to fight a way he's never fought before. Is that what you're
Yep.
saying?
Yes.
Yep.
Unless he had, I ain't gonna lie. Bivol's a very good fighter. I'm not gonna lie. I think he's
Yeah.
great. If he could pull it off, I think it would be him. But I'm just sold on Beterbiev. Like I'm just confident. Like KO's a huge Beterbiev fan. That's how I found this channel. Cause I'm like, yo, who's this Russian dude? I always listen to Max Kellerman. Like he's kind of like narcissistic, I would say, but he has great takes on boxing though.
Right,
And I
right.
remember he was talking about Kovalev. They was talking about the Kovalev and Adonis Stevenson fight. It was like 2013. He said, if you think Kovalev is the crusher, wait till Beterbiev gets here. And I'm like,
Yeah.
who the fuck is Beterbiev? So I Googled it. I'm looking. I'm like, who the fuck is this white dude with the beard? I'm like, all right. I looked up
Yeah.
his fights. And I'm like, damn, this dude is a wrecking ball. Then he came into the pros, and he just been wrecking ever since. So I've been convinced for years now that this dude is the truth.
Yeah.
And another thing people don't notice, like when he got knocked down or when he sustained the cut in the Marcus Brown fight, he walks to the corner and he just starts praying. This man puts his head down, walks to the corner, starts praying, and then he just starts putting belt to ass. So it's like he's different, and that's one thing that Tim
Yeah.
Bradley spoke about today in his interview. He said, "Look, this dude is a killer." He said
Yeah.
that's the main thing that he has. He's scared for Bivol. Like I don't think he has the mentality to go to that extent with Beterbiev. I really don't. I don't see it. I don't
Yeah.
see it.
I think he's gonna have to have it, Big Supreme, at least some semblance of it, a modicum of it. He's got to have something, man, and that concerned me as well because I was looking at that fight that he had with Lyndon Arthur the other day, and I'm like,
That's
damn,
what I'm saying.
he hurt him in the 11th round to the body, and then just didn't step on it.
You fighting Linda Arthur, who's a domestic level UK dude, never been a champion. I don't even think he had an EBU belt, and you couldn't get him out of there. And you want me to really think that he's gonna go in there and outbox Beterbiev? This dude has 3 gold medals. He has a silver medal. Like,
Hey,
and it's
like
not like they're like illegitimate medals, that they're actual world stage medals. He's fighting against world level opponents from all over the world. So my thing is, this man has 3 gold medals, 300 amateur fights. He's knocked out everybody he's fought, and he was knocking dudes out in amateurs with headgear. He knocked down
Yeah.
Usyk. I don't even think Usyk been on the ground in his career except with the Dubois situation, but he managed to knock down Usyk not once but twice. So I'm trying to figure out
a much
why
bigger
wouldn't
guy.
you side with Beterbiev?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. It's just sound like it's gonna end up being a one-sided fight according to Big Supreme.
I ain't gonna lie, I think so. Ant McQueen, he probably thinks the same, but for me, I couldn't wait to get up on here to give Beterbiev his just due because I feel like I just been listening to all the interviews and they be saying the same
Yep.
thing. Oh, he's gonna outbox him. His IQ is too much for him. Like they don't know who Arthur is, man. And like I
Yeah.
said, like I've been like he's my profile picture. He's been my profile picture for months now. So I'm not just like a new fan that just woke up and just. I've been a big Beterbiev fan. So
Yeah.
that's my
Right, you've been
2 cents on that.
following him. Okay. Well, I'm gonna go around. I've been on here about an hour and a half tonight. I want everybody to give their last 2 cents, and then we gonna come back, and I'll be back Sunday, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Big Supreme. Well, no, I'm gonna start with Diddy P. Diddy P, what you got? What's your last 2 cents for the show?
Hey man, big up to everybody on the panel. 2 cents, you doing your thing.
Appreciate it.
Hey, Beterbiev, however you want to say his name. Hey, look for him to steal the show because hey, he a destructive force. That's like if you look at his face, he don't show emotion. Even when he praying, he
He look
don't
like
show
he like a
emotion
Marvel
behind.
character.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
definitely does.
yeah. Big up everybody.
All right,
I
thanks for
salute, bro.
joining me, Diddy P. And McQueen, what you got? What's your 2 cents? Close us out.
Oh man, I'm excited for tomorrow. Just like I'm excited for the main event, I'm actually excited for that rematch too. That Frazier and Wardley. I rewatched that first one
That was fire.
yesterday. Oh my lord, that was a hell of a fight. So I'm excited for that too.
So is the undercard back on ESPN now, or are they still charging us for the
I have
undercard?
no
I
idea.
think the undercard is gonna be on the Zone, and the main event is gonna be on ESPN
Is
Plus.
it still pay-per-view?
It's gonna be on ESPN Plus.
Okay.
I think the Shakur segment was gonna be on pay-per-view, but they scrapped that though.
So when Shakur pulled out, now the card no longer need to be on pay-per-view.
Basically.
That's crazy. Okay, go ahead, Emma Queen.
Yeah, I just want to see a good fight. I'm rooting for Arthur Beterbiev, but Bivol is a hell of a fighter. Like Big Supreme said, if there is anybody who could pull it off, it would be him. Part of me wants to see the improbable on both sides. Like it would be sensational to see the guy who doesn't knock people out in Bivol score a sensational knockout. But then on the other hand, I would also like to see Beterbiev get in there and show people like, yo, I got more than power. I got skills, I got IQ, I got all that other stuff too. And a lot of little subtlety that he brings to the ring. But rooting for my guy, Arthur Beterbiev, I call him the substance. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you for
Appreciate
coming
y'all.
up. Appreciate it.
I'll keep it short and sweet. This for Ann McQueen, right? If you're still listening, there was a fight like last week. It was Jack Rafferty versus a dude named Henry Turner in the UK, and Dragons Assassins. You can look that up too. From round one, Henry Turner outboxed this kid. Angles, footwork, great movement, and in the ninth round, Jack Rafferty caught him and knocked him out. I think that would be a great reference point if y'all want to watch that fight and see how I think the fight's going to turn out. I think he's going to outbox him for the first couple of rounds, and then the pressure's going to get to him. He's going to quit. My last thing I want to say before I head out, yes, Bivol does have a extensive amateur career, but it wasn't at the senior level. Like a lot of his gold medals is at like the youth championships and stuff like that. He did compete as an 18 and 19-year-old, but it wasn't like Beterbiev being 24, 25, fighting against a Usyk or fighting against a Kovalev or fighting against these other dudes that won gold medals, won bronze medals and stuff like that. So that's why I'm giving the edge to Beterbiev plus the power. Like I said, tomorrow I could be completely wrong and Bivol could pitch a shutout. And I'll look like a fool on the live, but I think that he's gonna knock him out though.
Cool. Thank you, Big Supreme, for coming up here today, giving me your 2 cents about the fight. I will see you Sunday. I will be live again at 5 p.m. and we'll talk about the outcome. We'll see how right you were. All right. Thanks for joining me. All right. I want to thank everybody for joining me tonight for some random boxing talk. We pretty much spent the whole time talking about the Beterbiev Bivol fight. Big Supreme and McQueen, DDP, they came up here, gave some great insight on Beterbiev and why they think that he might be winning the fight. We had a few people in the chat like Shell and I believe Ambrose West who think Bivol is going to be able to pull it off. But we shall see. I'm about to go check out these fight odds and throw a little money down and test my luck and see how things can go. Man, it's gonna be a good fight tomorrow. People have been talking about this for months. It's been a fight that people want to see. It's a hardcore fans fight dream. So if you're listening to the replay of this live, be sure to punch that like and subscribe button and let me know and drop it below your 2 cents in the comments. If you would like to monetarily support the channel, you can always hit me on the Cash App 2 cents boxing. You can see it scrolling at the bottom of the screen. Shout out to Daryl Palmer with the Cash App. Hold on, let me open up my phone. Daryl Palmer with the $5 in the Cash App. I appreciate the support for the channel. Greatly appreciate it. So we're gonna see what happened with this fight. Will Bivol be able to use his footwork and his jab and his lateral movement to perform a perfect 12-round fight and stay out of the way of Beterbiev's power? A lot of people say Beterbiev not only has the power, but he also has the boxing skills to overcome what Bivol is able to do in the ring and be able to score the knockout. Will the fight go all 12 rounds? If it goes all 12 rounds, could we possibly get a draw? Could we possibly be able to get a rematch out of this fight? I don't know. We will have to wait until tomorrow to see. But I want to thank everybody for joining me. And again, I'm Jay, and this is my 2 cents. And stay tuned and check me out in the next live.
Y'all, man, 2 cents be on point. She be on point, bro.
Appreciate it.
Nah,
Appreciate
it.
it.
Talking facts. Like, you was the first one to say it.